Hey, I'm Brett. This is Desiree. This is The Engaged Life on the Engaged Network. Well, it's Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time for a new episode. And you're like, no, it's Thursday. Well, I'm sorry that you're watching on the wrong day, but we release every Tuesday. And we're so happy that you're along for the ride with us.
Yeah.
As mentioned before, I'm Brett at Brett Esslinger. You're Desiree at Des Esslinger. Behind the camera, that's at Libby Dirks. And she makes all of our dreams come true. And she makes this look great. So give her a follow. I was going to say slide into her DMs, but don't. That's weird and creepy.
So don't do that.
But, you know what's been amazing is we've been getting email and messages coming in from across the country and in another country, from the U.S., from Canada, all across really North America, which has been crazy weird about the podcast. So we're so thankful that you've allowed us into your life, and we are honored by that. Today, we want to talk about the dream killer.
Yep.
We've all had dreams. We've all gone after big things in our lives. We've all had big ideas. Some of us have acted on them.
Yeah.
Some of us have not. Some of us have been afraid to do that. Some of us have not been afraid to do that, but we've experienced some bumps
in the
road. So we want to talk about the big dream killer, and it's a big D word.
Another big one.
It's another big one. Mm-hmm. Super simple topic again for today. We're talking about discouragement.
Yeah.
And how it can literally derail your future and derail your dreams and take you off course, move you in a different direction. Discouragement, it's crazy. I just wonder how many of us have gone through a time or a season where we've been deeply discouraged about something and we've let that thing define our life. There's many of us who have big dreams, but instead of being defined by our dreams and the realization of those things, we've actually become defined by discouragement.
Yeah, and I think life is, in general, like such an emotional, or can be such an emotional roller coaster. And I think discouragement is one of those things that, as we've said, it can literally derail everything. And it just kind of like stepping back and looking at, okay, what's actually controlling the situation here? What's actually controlling my life here? Because discouragement, like, it's not truth. It's not truth. It's just a feeling.
Wow.
So are we allowing a feeling to dictate our lives, or are we allowing the truth to dictate?
It's too early to be dropping these kind of bombs.
But it's true, and I just this has been really heavy on my heart the last few days, because I've been there, first of all. So I understand the deep feeling of being discouraged and feeling like in my case, feeling like I can't do this, in a situation where, even just practically speaking, we started a church and it was real hard. It was really hard in the beginning, and it did not feel good.
So you're saying it's easy now?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that season in particular was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And there was so much up and down where it was literally week to week. One week I'd be feeling really good. Good things would happen and I would just feel great. And obviously emotions were dictating things, because the next week things wouldn't be as good, or there wouldn't be as many people there, or whatever it was. And I would be so discouraged. And I would literally say to you, I can't do this. Or like, did we make the right choice? Or I just want to give up. Like, I'm done. I can't do this. But then the week after that, it would be like up again. Yeah. And it was just this constant exhausting up and down and up and down and up and down. And I just think back to that and I think, wow, if I had allowed that discouragement to dictate my decisions and be the driving force in our lives and where we were going, I would have missed out on so much.
So good.
And I would have literally derailed what God had intended for us, for me individually. And I see it now so clearly, and I'm so deeply moved now watching others struggle with discouragement in so many different areas, in relationships, with God, in prayer. We've been talking about this, just in life in general, and just how that is affecting our decisions. And what are we moving out of? Are we allowing that discouragement to direct and dictate our actions? And when we do that, it quite literally has the ability to derail what God has planned for us.
Yeah. I think one thing I see all the time is when things get really, really hard, it's easy to think that it's just time to give up.
Yeah.
But just because things are difficult doesn't mean you're done.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go through struggles and seasons where our capacity is really being stretched, right?
Yeah.
You just feel like you're at your max, you're at your limit. Like
capacity is
if you're
full.
a balloon, you're about to explode.
Yeah. And it hurts. It does not feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. And it's very easy to get discouraged in those seasons because you feel like this is about to explode on me.
And it shouldn't feel like this. We're under the impression or the assumption that it actually, this is wrong. I should not feel like this.
That growth should feel good.
Yeah.
You know, we got 2 little boys, 6 and 4, and sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night screaming because they have what? Growing pains. Growing pains. So sometimes, you know, we face discouragement just before we're about to grow and break through.
Yeah.
Because your capacity's increased, you're stretched, you feel like you should throw in the towel, like you can't go on another moment, and then something shifts, something turns, and all of a sudden the pressure comes off. But then what you learn is that now when you go back up to that level, you could handle it. It doesn't feel as hard. It doesn't feel as difficult. It doesn't feel as damaging. And now, guess what? You get stretched again and your capacity grows. So I think a lot of times we short circuit our development because of discouragement when really you should double down and keep moving forward.
Yeah. And it feels real terrible, but it's worth it. What I've really been thinking about is that usually if discouragement is kind of running rampant and it's taking control and you've allowed it to kind of overwhelm you, it either goes one of 2 ways. The one way is that it's like, okay, I'm discouraged. I'm done. Just like I was feeling, I'm giving up. Like I quit. I'm done. I'm allowing it to tell me that this is the end of the line for me, when really that's not the truth more often than not, but I'm allowing that to dictate my decisions. And in doing that, by quitting, I am derailing or I'm cutting off the trajectory of my life and where it could go and the potential that is there. And then the other route is in feeling discouraged because maybe we're walking on a certain way or we're in a certain relationship or whatever it is. Like there's so many things and it's not going the way we wanted, or we haven't got that job, or we haven't met that person yet. And rather than quitting or just pressing forward, we decide to take matters into our own hands because that discouragement says to me, something must be wrong. I must be doing something wrong. Instead of just pressing forward, I must be doing something wrong. I'm taking control now. Doesn't matter what I've been told or what's been said. I'm taking control and I'm going to move in a new direction or my direction or what I think is the right answer. And a lot of times that's actually not God's answer for us. And that is oftentimes how we end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, the wrong situation, the wrong relationship, because we've taken matters into our own hands and said, okay, this isn't working. I'm going for something else. Okay, so I'm giving up.
So somebody's sitting right here where I'm sitting. They're having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
They're feeling discouraged. You feel like they're about to let their discouragement derail them. What do you say?
Oh, it's so hard. I think the first thing, that I would do personally, that I would recommend doing, because I know Jesus and I believe that he does know best for me and that he does know what's ahead and he does know the future, I would say before you make any decisions, before you do anything, before you allow emotions to dictate your life, let's look at what's true in this situation. Let's look at Jesus. Let's look at what he's said. Let's look at what he's done so far. Let's look at what it is you're going after and going towards, and let's see if it's actually a healthy thing. And then let's consider options before we make rash decisions. That's where I would start.
That's so good. And I'm just going to say this. We're going to link to it just down below. But if you do not know Jesus personally, if you don't have that relationship yet, we would love to help you take that next step. You can link below, hit the button. It's going to link you right to a page so you can learn all about Jesus and online make that decision to follow Jesus, because we believe that you're going to find hope, life, destiny, direction, purpose, and it's going to be so far beyond anything that you could ask, hope, imagine, or dream. Wow, this has been so good. I feel like this is like a part 1. I think we need to break down some tips and some tactics next week with dealing with discouragement. But hey, thank you for listening, for watching. iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, all the places. I'm Brett. This is Desiree. That's Livy over there. Have a great day, everybody. We're going to see you right back here next week on The Engaged Life.